Hello again, everybody. This is Amorgin, and you're very welcome back to another Star Trek Fleet Command. And the coming darkness is still going on, guys. Another few days of it left, just a little under a week. And we're going to take a look at how we're getting on with that. Various different events in it, guys, and various levels of difficulty involved in achieving the different reward tiers that are on offer. We'll take a look at that in a moment, guys. I'm gonna unlock a few of these officer chests, and I'm gonna demonstrate the free officer EXP trick, and explain it a little bit again to you guys who find it tough to understand what I've been on about. So basically, when you get Cadet Sulu, and he gets to the point of where you require the Federation credits to upgrade him, to promote him, don't promote him. This applies to any of these officers, I guess, but I use Cadet Sulu, so I don't promote him. He's sitting there, and as you open these chests, what'll happen is Cadet Sulu will pop out. Normally, if I was opening this chest and I had him promoted and I was upgrading him, I would have got 120 EXP, but I get 1120 EXP because you can see there I didn't get Cadet Sulu shards. It got converted to EXP. So that's free officer EXP, guys, if you don't upgrade certain officers. So I'm out here mining with the North Star. I'm looking to get my my crystal G3 crystal mining event done. I always recommend doing these events, guys, so I'll leave them two ships out there and look to see if there's an open spot for some of this decoded data, seeing as this event is on for mining your corrupted and decoded data. And the decoded data obviously gives you the better return. So we can see there, like, this is part of the whining I'm on about. Some of these nodes are still very much bugged, and clicking around here, it's just not able to select it at all. So that's obviously why that's lying empty. The one above it is still bugged, as we seen there a second ago. We'll demonstrate that now again. It won't load. So a number of little bugs like this that still need sorted out. It's these silly little things in the game that that make the game experience so much less. And if they were sorted out and streamlined, it would be much more enjoyable experience. So we're interested here in getting some decoded data. So jump systems, and that looks like a nice node there. A couple of guys mining around it already. So quite difficult for me to mine at the moment, guys, because this conflict is on with other alliances on our server. But we can try and get ships down. I'm changing that to the Envoy, because the Envoy just has that little bit less repair cost. So if somebody does come and destroy it, it's not going to be that expensive. So I'm going to send this Envoy on down here, and of course we need to get the Centurion down as well to protect it. So we'll get a bit of an escort for the Centurion as well, and that's going to take a couple of minutes to get that down here, guys. So guys, once again, with the power of editing, we're going to magically get this down into the system. So both ships are there, and we're going to head over to this empty node and get this Envoy onto it. And one of the things I'll demonstrate, like I mentioned in the description just before the end, is I have Gorkon, Chang and Harrison on the bridge of this Centurion. And we're gonna take out a couple of the Sulaban bounty hunters and look at the battle logs on this this Chang and Gorkon duo. Now Harrison, they're okay as well. Like, you guys leave your comments on what you think about this afterwards. Now of course, the Centurion being an explorer as well, I'm up against explorer types. We've got one victory there already, and we'll pop in and look at this. So a very small amount of titanium, and we can see abilities kicking in there, and a fair bit of mitigation by that bounty hunter from the damage being dealt. But likewise, a fair bit of mitigation by the Centurion as well. So there's a nice critical hit, but still only ended up doing 5,600 on that ship. And there's one Suliban bounty hunter after 3 rounds. So that's one ship. We'll hit 1 or 2 more when they come into the system. And we'll get this ship onto a mine, get it mining first. There we go. Okay. So a couple of other things I want to look at here as well, guys, is these different events. Like I say, the G3 Crystal Mining Expedition, we want to complete that. I should have enough here now to get the final rewards out of that. And like I say, I recommend doing those every day to increase your little bit of a bonus. And we claim this chest. And a 1 hour speed up is always welcome. Okay, so a number of these events you guys are familiar with. The solo data one obviously is the one we want to get. Augment points, augment reputation, all very nice. Can tokens and all of that kind of stuff. Very difficult when you're at war. I'm doing alright in this Allegiance to Romulans event. I'm in 4th place at the moment. Doubt I'll hold on to that, but we'll try. Not amazing rewards. Nero rewards. Nero's not quite as good as people might have hoped. Certainly not at the moment for me. But here's this loyalty event. Joachim tokens, or sorry, shards. And you can see I've gathered up a few can tokens. Now the advice here, guys, is to hold on to your can tokens until you've improved your reputation with the augments. You'll get that little bit more from them if you save them. And so we're looking at this, guys. This G3 ore being available. Other people are getting titanium tokens and whatever, and some people are getting just straight resources, not the tokens, depending on your level. It's ridiculous that this is level dependent. I certainly don't need 25 G3 ore from this. I certainly don't need 2 rare ore from this. Anybody watched my previous videos knows that I have no shortage of ore. And so this kind of cost 12.5k for 2 rare ore. No incentive in that, guys. Far better incentive for the like of me to be getting the titanium tokens and the power steel tokens. That's a complete fail of an event, that one. Why wouldn't you just offer everybody the option of choosing whatever they want, tokens, straight up resources, or G3? Give everybody the same options. Why stagger it over the levels? People who are lower level getting titanium tokens and whatever would prefer to get G3 in many cases, and people who are getting G3 would prefer to get the titanium token. So consult with people first, guys, before you decide on what these rewards are going to be, and you'll get a far better response from the player community. If you're wondering why all the whinging and whining is still happening, it's because you're giving people what they don't want. You're deciding in an ivory tower what it is that people should want. And so part of my hope, guys, is that if I become an influencer, an official influencer with Scopely, and I've asked this question and I'm being reassured that there is an avenue for us to influence the game. So I'm seriously considering signing that paperwork, getting in there and becoming an influencer, and hoping that there's an avenue where we can be consulted with first, asked what kind of rewards we would like, and then get them implemented. That would be the hope. We'll see how that goes, and I'll keep you guys updated on that. So here's some more battle reports. Some of you guys I know are very interested in this and comparing them, so take a good look at that. Some nice abilities kicking in there. So we'll hit one more of these before I finish up, guys. Here it's coming in. You see Sauce Malice up there doing the same thing. The Sauce are still relatively friendly. Okay, so into the battle log. Again, abilities kicking in. So you guys take a look at that in your own time, pause it, slow it down, whatever you need to do, and give me your feedback on what you think of this Gorkon and Chang setup. So I'm going to leave it at that, guys. I appreciate everybody watching as always. Give it a like if you like it and subscribe and all of that kind of stuff. Look out for each other and look after yourselves, and I will catch all of you guys again very, very shortly. Cheers.